On this episode of Travels with Bill, we're checking out a Manitoba classic. It's the Eisner auction. This is held twice a year, spring and fall, and it brings people from all over. The auction site is located just between Swan River and Minitonas, and you used to have to come here, but since COVID, it's an online auction, which means people check this out from hundreds of miles around and then make the trip to pick up their special items. Of course, a lot of people come before the sale to check out what they can find too, and there's always some very interesting stuff. In fact, let's take a look at some of it. They say this auction is the best thing since sliced bread. Well, as it turns out at this particular auction, you could even slice some bread. It's a bakery-style bread slicer. This is the sort of thing you'd put a bunch of loaves in, they would slowly come on through. You'd put them in a bag after and have your sliced bread. A lot easier than slicing it with a knife, and well, you don't have to worry about it being crooked either. I'm not sure it'd be worth it for just one loaf of bread, but certainly if you're thinking bakery, that may be just the thing for you. Once upon a time, when this was a live in-person auction, they would go through this with at least one ring, sometimes two, selling box by box, bit by bit, and it would be a major event for people to come out to. They'd have a whole canteen on the go. Eating the auction burgers was half of the experience. Of course, you'd have to wait around for your thing and stand here all day. If it was a beautiful day, that wasn't such a problem, but if it was a little yucky, well, it could be a little annoying. After COVID, they changed to an online auction, and at first people thought, well, will that be as good? Turns out it's every bit as good, probably even better. Each item is individually on the website, so you can see each lot and bid on it, plus you can come out in person and take a look at it. Seeing the pictures online makes sure you can see it all a lot easier, plus you can bid from the comfort of your own home or desk. A lot of people do that. They come here the day or two before the sale for viewing, make a list of the things they like, and then go bid from the comfort of their home. For sellers, it's a good deal too, because the items seem to sell for a little more when you have that wider audience of everybody being online. So this is a piece that got my attention. It's described as a parade ride. It looks like a tractor, but it really isn't. It pulls this chariot, and it's really meant for parades. I don't think it's really all that street legal. In fact, if you take a little closer look at the tractor, you find out it simply isn't a tractor. It's been put together from pieces. It has an engine, it has wheels, but that's where the similarity to a tractor ends. Check out all the switches on this thing. Now, there is actually a manual included. You can see it in the bag there. It kind of tells you how it all works. I think the switches have a lot to do with all the horns on the side of it. It certainly has a radio too, so it can play music as it goes down the parade route. I didn't get to see it driving, but it certainly is an interesting little tractor. So I admit, I did bid on this. I didn't win. So if you're watching and you took this tractor home, I guess I'm the guy you beat when you kept bidding me up a little bit. Not really sure what I would have done with it. But that's the thing about auction sales, isn't it? You're never really quite sure what you do with anything you buy there. Not just little stuff, there's some pretty big stuff at the auction as well. Some quads here, riding lawnmowers, and of course we get tractors and combines. One of the neat things about the Eisner auction sales is they have a bunch of new stuff too. That's what those boxes are. So on the website you can see exactly what's inside the box. Anything from a greenhouse to a shelter, maybe a log splitter. And then back to some of the used stuff here. I see a bobcat there, kind of a nice little international tractor. That would look pretty good at home too. Once upon a time, this was Lawrence Eisner. He's since passed away. It's his son now that looks after the auction business. Ryan keeps this place going pretty good, and he makes sure it always looks just beautiful. You can sign your items in early spring, then there's a sale, then can sign again as you're getting close to fall, and another sale. This is probably one of the neatest items at this particular sale. It's a boat, and it's not a small one either. A Bayliner boat. If you've never been inside one of these, well, the auction sale was a perfect opportunity to hop on in and see what they look like. It's more than you think. It's kind of like an RV on water. You see a lot of these out in Gimli, where CJ107 land is, but of course you don't see too many in the middle of the prairie. You have to have a big enough lake to hold this, right, and a big enough boat launch to get it in, but it's a really neat boat. It sold for not that much money either. I don't think I bid on it, but if I did, I certainly didn't chase it very far because I wasn't quite sure what I'd do with it except put it on my lawn as a, well, kind of ornament. Here's the captain's seat up front with all the gauges and buttons and knobs and such. Lots of sitting area up here for some passengers too, some drinks, but then you can actually go down in underneath. This is where it gets really neat. It's just like an RV setup down here. A full galley, I think you'd call it when it's a boat. So you've got the sink, you've got the stove, those converted to beds, seating area as well. You can sleep a lot of people on here. In fact, there's a bed that's not in the video behind us, just below the stairs too. It wouldn't be one for the claustrophobic folks, but certainly it's kind of the master bedroom set up there. So a very nice looking boat. And you don't see that out the window of a boat very much, do you? A tractor and a combine just down the way. It certainly was something a lot of people were talking about auction sale day. Who would end up with the boat and what would they do with it? I'm not sure if the stepladder came with it or not. Kind of looks like it should though, because I don't see the other half of it. It seems to be missing. Anyway, the boat did go home with someone, but not with me. If you've seen something you like here, well, the bad news is this auction's already over, but the next one's coming up. There's always another auction after all. If you hit up Google for Eisner Auctions, you'll find their website. It'll list sale dates and also consignment dates. So if you're looking to sell something, you can make an appointment, bring it on in, and have it in one of these rows. Of course, if you're looking to buy, you can come visit in person. It'll tell you the viewing dates on there, but it also links to the website where you can do the actual bidding and see each and every item. Certainly once the sale is over, you drop by here to pay for your items and then take them home. That can be an interesting day in itself to watch everybody trying to take everything home, a bunch of trailers. Some of it drives home just fine, but some of it needs a little help, I suppose. Always something interesting to see. I know a lot of people like to come and just watch. They don't actually bid, but they come and look at all the items, then they go on the website and watch what they're selling for. That could be almost a game in itself, really, seeing if it sells for what you think it's really worth. Have you subscribed to Travels with Bill yet? We'd love to have you as a subscriber, and you'll be one of the first to know when we release a new video. We're traveling all across Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and indeed Canada, looking at interesting things along the way. Well, for now, we leave you from just outside of Minitonas, Manitoba, as we circle the Eisner Auction Center as they prepare for yet another sale. We'll see you on the next episode of Travels with Bill.